The Moai figures of Easter Island, one of the world's most intriguing archaeological mysteries, continue to captivate researchers, historians, and curious minds alike. These massive stone statues, scattered across the remote island in the Pacific Ocean, offer a glimpse into the complex and enigmatic culture of the Rapa Nui people. But despite decades of research, the full story of the Moai figures, their purpose, their construction, and the social dynamics of the society that created them remains a mystery. This article will explore the history, significance, and theories surrounding the Moai figures, diving deep into one of the most remarkable and mysterious ancient cultures known to modern humanity. Easter Island, or Rapa Nui, is a small, isolated volcanic island located approximately 2,300 miles off the coast of Chile in the southeastern Pacific Ocean. With a land area of only about 63 square miles, its isolation made it a place of both wonder and mystery, long before the Moai statues were even discovered by outsiders. The island is most famous for its nearly 900 Moai statues, which are scattered across the landscape, particularly on the southern and eastern coasts. These statues are one of the most iconic and well-recognized features of ancient Polynesian culture. The Moai, generally believed to have been constructed between 1400 and 1650 AD, are often associated with religious and ceremonial practices, representing the gods, ancestors, or powerful figures that played significant roles in the lives of the island's early inhabitants. The Moai statues are truly monumental. They range in size from around 3 feet tall to over 30 feet in height, with the largest weighing more than 80 tons. These statues are crafted from volcanic tuff, a soft stone found in the island's Rano Raraku quarry, though some figures are carved from basalt and red scoria, both of which are more difficult to work with. The typical Moai features an elongated head with a prominent brow, large nose, and angular chin. The heads are disproportionately large compared to the bodies, with the face often displaying a solemn expression. These features have been interpreted in various ways, but many believe that the exaggerated facial features symbolize the island's ancestors or important chiefs. Some researchers suggest that the Moai's exaggerated heads represent the personification of a leader's mana, spiritual power, or influence. This suggests that the statues might have been a form of ancestor worship or a means of invoking the divine power associated with the island's important figures. The construction of the Moai statues is one of the biggest puzzles that scholars have yet to fully explain. The question of how these massive figures, some weighing over 80 tons, were carved and transported across the island remains a subject of heated debate among archaeologists. While the exact methods are not entirely clear, there are several leading theories. The quarry at Rano Raraku, the island's main source of volcanic tuff, contains nearly 400 unfinished Moai statues, providing insight into the production process. Tools made of basalt were used to carve the figures, and there is evidence of careful and meticulous work, with some statues requiring many months or even years to complete. The statues were then transported to different locations on the island, where they were placed on stone platforms called ahu. One widely accepted theory about how the Moai were transported involves the use of ropes and a coordinated team effort. According to some researchers, the statues were walked upright to their locations. This means that teams of workers used ropes to sway the statues back and forth in a kind of coordinated movement. Though it may sound far-fetched, evidence has been found to suggest that the Moai could indeed have been moved in this way, with teams pulling the statues upright and guiding them in a walking motion. Another theory involves rolling the statues on logs, though this would have been a cumbersome process, especially for the larger Moai. The truth may involve a combination of these methods, or perhaps something yet undiscovered. The central question surrounding the Moai is their purpose. Why did the Rapa Nui people go to such great lengths to create and transport these enormous statues across the island? There are several hypotheses. The most widely accepted theory is that the Moai represented the ancestral spirits or deified ancestors of the Rapa Nui people. In Polynesian culture, ancestors are often revered and believed to hold great mana. The Moai could have been intended to embody this power and ensure prosperity and good fortune for the people of the island. In this sense, the statues would have been symbols of divine author. The Moai statues were not just objects of art or symbols of power. They played a central role in the religious and spiritual practices of the Rapa Nui people. As mentioned earlier, it is widely believed that the Moai represented powerful ancestral spirits. These spirits were thought to possess mana, the Polynesian concept of spiritual energy or divine power, which could influence the welfare of the community. The Moai were often placed on ahu, ceremonial platforms that also served as tombs for the chiefs and important figures of the island. This connection between the Moai and the dead signifies the deep respect and reverence the Rapa Nui people had for their ancestors, believing that the statues could ensure the prosperity and well-being of their descendants. Another intriguing aspect of the Moai statues is the mystery surrounding their eyes. Many of the statues were originally constructed with eyes made of coral and volcanic rock, though most of these eyes are no longer in place today. The eyes were thought to be an essential feature that gave the Moai the ability to see, and by doing so, allowed them to bestow their mana upon the land and the people. Some archaeologists suggest that the Moai's eyes were used in a form of ritual to invoke a spiritual connection with the statues, bringing them to life, so to speak, and enabling them to effectively watch over the community. Interestingly, the concept of eyes on the Moai connects to a broader Polynesian belief in the power of eye magic. In many Polynesian cultures, the eyes are seen as portals to the soul or spiritual realm. The idea that the Moai were capable of witnessing and protecting the island's inhabitants further reinforces the theory that they were not simply statues, but powerful, living entities in the eyes of the Rapa Nui people. In addition to natural erosion, the Moai statues face new threats in the modern era. Tourism, while an essential part of the island's economy, brings with it challenges. The sheer number of visitors to Easter Island puts a strain on the preservation efforts, as large tourist crowds and environmental factors, such as salty air and high humidity, can accelerate the deterioration of the statues. Some Moai statues have been vandalized in the past, with chunks of their stone heads broken off or even stolen as souvenirs. In response, the Chilean government, in collaboration with the indigenous Rapa Nui community, has been working to protect the statues through careful management of tourism and ongoing preservation projects.